Hello everyone and welcome to the channel. I'm Emmanuel, I'm an airline pilot, and welcome to the Phoenix A320 once again. It's really been a while since we've flown this aircraft. Since we've focused on the 319 and the A321 over the last couple of days, but with the release of Aerosoft's Frankfurt, I really thought it's about time that we are going to visit the A320 once again. It's going to be a short hop over to Nürnberg, which is going to be in the region of about just under 30 minutes. And of course we do have air traffic control online here on VATSIM as well. So let's take a seat in our A320 cockpit. It's certainly much quieter here, which I do kind of appreciate. So right over here we are going to start with our setup of our flight. And we are going to start with a couple of the easy items, basically importing our flight plan and deciding on the fuel quantity to take. So import from SimBrief, Lufthansa 144, scheduled off block in 28 minutes, but I do plan to be quicker than that today. Now, having a look at the weather conditions, I would love to show you something. Unfortunately, nothing in here, but I can tell you from the flight planning that we've got good weather conditions throughout the flight. Now, in terms of the fuel then, we can start loading up the standard amount here, which really adds up to about 4,800 kilograms, including APU usage, and I think that's all we are going to need. So, onto the planner, mass and balance, and for the fuel we'll take 4,800, and that shall be sufficient for the flight. So apply and load please. And you can use GSX for that. So with that stuff out of the way, let's go ahead and start with our pre-flight procedures here with a preliminary cockpit inspection. And that's engine master levers off, start engine mode selector norm, weather radar is off, but we can turn it on auto and calibrate down here. The landing gear lever is down, windshield wipers off, and the batteries are on. So APU is already connected, we don't have an external power today, that's fine. APU fire test is looking good, and IRS mode selectors, we are just going to reset them over here for a quick line, like that, and that shall do. Now number 3 is not showing a line, let's just put it off and back on again, and then we should hopefully get the alignment on number 3 as well. Okay. So that stuff is looking good. Let's go ahead with our EFB setup. So we are going to start right up here. Takeoff calculations, we can synchronize the preliminary load sheet. Runway 18 is correct, and since they are using runway 07 today, we will take figures from a beam mic so that we are not dependent on the approaches to 07 right. I will explain more on that as we are going to start our taxi out and when we reach our departure runway. Okay. Next up, aircraft acceptance. Let's press the recall over here, and that's 1, 2, and 3 seconds. Okay, recall is showing normal. The logbook is looking good. We've got a perfectly fine aircraft. Aircraft configuration, CFM engines. We do not have automatic nav and go around, so we need to press the button manually, and there are no OEBs for our aircraft. Wonderful. So that good stuff is done. Then last but not least, the oxygen quantity is looking good, hydraulic quantity is looking good, engine oil quantity is looking good, flaps are showing up and in agreement with the lever, spoilers are retracted, and the park and brake released, alternate brake check, looking good, and set again. Okay, looking wonderful. So the preliminary cockpit preparation is complete. Let's go over into our FMS in order to initialize our ACARS, and last but not least, when that is done, I am going to request the weather for Nürnberg so that you guys can follow up on the forecast weather as well until Phoenix has fixed that flight plan indication. So Nürnberg, METAR and TUF, send. Should probably have received a couple of messages by now. Indeed we do. So that's 1 preliminary load sheet, that is 2 preliminary load sheets, that's 57,289, 2 and 4, Frankfurt to Nürnberg on the Zulu Hotel, which we are indeed sitting in, and that is looking good. 150 passengers planned, 100% portable water, and 4,800 kilos of fuel. Looks good, we can accept that, and looking into the weather data, as mentioned, weather in Nürnberg, very good, currently variable 3 knots, Cav OK, and the forecast is 1 2085 cavalcade as well. Runway 10 is planned, and that's probably also the one we are going to take. A320-200 CFM56, and the database is current, and we can go ahead and request our flight plan. And while that is in progress, let's go ahead and start working on our overhead panel scan. So recorded ground control on, CBR tests, and evacuation switch onto the captain's side. What about the refueling? It's in progress, okay. Well then, we can continue with our engine fire tests. Looking good, and looking good. Alright, wonderful. And then back to the front. QNH is 1013 at the moment. DCDU is going on. Here we go. It's the 7th of September while I'm recording this. Anti-skid switch is on. So comms A and B. I'll just deselect the Unicom frequency here because, well, people talking and stuff. Okay, transponder 2000, and down here everything is set. Wonderful, then we can go right into the FMS. So, as shown earlier, we are going to be the Lufthansa 144, cost index 30, and cruise level 210. Here we go. Active flight plan uplink, thank you. Nav accuracy upgraded, GPS primary, all looking good. So, Frankfurt, departure, runway 18, as we're going southbound via the Cindy 6 Sierra departure. And over in Nürnberg, we are going to arrive in the ILS approach, runway 10. Let's see which arrival we are going to follow. Come on, open the flight plan, please. And it is the Letku 1 Tango arrival. Okay, Letku 1 Tango it is. And let's just quickly check where that one ends. Okay, it leads us straight into the final. Very good. Then we don't need any approach via. Well, Delta November 430 is okay. And that's it. Alright. Temporary insert, then let's continue with our engine out points. And we have the Frankfurt X3 point for that once again. It's really pity that the Phoenix doesn't memorize those points in between the flights, because we are entering those rather often over here. So Frankfurt 18176 at 25 miles, and that's gonna be it. So Fra X3 in here once again, and we can pick up a holding over there at 176 inbound right hand turns. Like that, looking good, and the immediate return is going to go towards Frankfurt as well, of course. And that's going to be for an ILS Zulu approach onto runway 07 center. Here we go. Okay. So Frankfurt 18, that's 176, and Fra X3. Like that, looking good. We don't need any nav 8. We do have Frankfurt 18 in here. And then on to our reserves. Let's go ahead and have a look at that. So for that I'm going to use the load sheet straight away. Nope, not you, but you. Okay, so 57.3 and 30.5. Fuel 4.8, and in terms of our weight, let's have a look at the flight plan once again, or rather in terms of our fuel figures, 0.3, 1.7, 1.1. So 0.3, 1.7, and 1.1. Okay, looking good. Wind data request. Doesn't make that much of a difference on a short-haul flight like this, but you never know. Okay, and then on to our takeoff data. So, flaps 1 and 68 degrees. And the takeoff speeds are going to be 146, 148. Alright, 1,000, 1,500, all looking good. Clean speed 209. And now, with that in mind, let's go ahead and check our sit to make sure that it is correct. So we've got the ground charts, airport, and parking stands east, parking stands west. And then departure, we're looking for the Cindy 6 Sierra meanwhile. Here it is, Cindy 6 Sierra RNAV departure. Daylight charts, please. So, straight ahead, Delta Fox 158, max 220 above 800, then Delta Fox 159 above 2500. And that's exactly what we have in here. Okay, from there, Delta Fox 170 above 4600, Umtix and Cindy. And that's exactly what we have. Wonderful. Initial climb clearance, altitude 4000. Here we go. And that's that part completed. Ground flight deck. Mind your ears, oxygen check. Looking good. Okay, refueling is complete. And with that, all the good stuff is done. So let's go ahead and collect our clearance, please. Nope, definitely not gonna pick up the phone call right now. Okay, so ATC request, and we're looking for pre-departure clearance. We're at gate number Alpha 30. Station is going to be Frankfurt. And ATIS, what do we have? So, departure ATIS, information Juliet. Okay, so Frankfurt to Nürnberg, Lufthansa 144, gate Alpha 30, Juliet, Gude, A320, station Frankfurt. Send. Wonderful. So while we're waiting for the clearance, let's go ahead with our briefing. And for that, the pilot monitoring is going to start. The MSA 4300, runway 18 intersection Mike, Cindy 6 Sierra departure, climbing 4000, and we did not take any extra. Hotspots for the taxis, anything that's got wheels fitted beneath it. Stop margin is over 1000 meters. Engine out, sit straight at Frankfurt X3, 25 miles, climbing 5000. ATC might give us vectors as soon as we're above the MSA nonetheless. We can come back to Frankfurt immediately, we're above the maximum landing weight, and Frankfurt is the best option in the area. Nothing special or non-standard, do you see any threats? Well, calls and confusion, busy air traffic control is a possible threat for this one. So how are we going to mitigate against that? We'll carefully listen out to the frequency. And we are, most importantly, not going to mess anybody or anything over here. So we adhere to the radio discipline. If that means we'll need to wait for a bit, then so be it. Any questions? No? Wonderful. Then here's our clearance. So, PTC 28, Lufthansa 144, clear to Nürnberg, off runway 18. And Cindy 6 Sierra is confirmed. Climb 4000, which we have, and squawk 1000. Right, ATIS Juliet report ready on 122.035. Okay, Wilco, send. And here we go. Okay, received by ATC, wonderful. Okay, that looks very good to me. So now the big question is, how long until we are ready to go? So this would be the moment where we'd ask the cabin crew how the boarding looks. They would tell us. In the sim, we just gotta check over here, and looks like boarding is complete, just loading the last pieces of luggage now, so let's go ahead and say hello to our crew and passengers. And the clearance is confirmed. Wonderful. Liebe Gäste, einen wunderschönen guten Tag aus dem Cockpit. Hier spricht Ihr Kapitän. Mein Name ist Emanuel. Im Namen der Lufthansa darf ich Sie ganz herzlich an Bord von Flug 144 nach Nürnberg willkommen heißen. Wir laden gerade noch das letzte Gepäck und machen uns dann auf den Weg, starten heute in südliche Richtung, dann gefolgt von einer Linkskurve nach Nürnberg. Wir möchten uns ganz herzlich bedanken, dass wir heute unsere Gäste sind. Lehnen Sie sich zurück und genießen Sie den Flug mit uns. Dear guests, welcome aboard. My name is Emanuel and I'm your captain on today's Lufthansa Flight 144 towards Nürnberg. We are just loading the last pieces of luggage, and once we are ready we are going to taxi for a southerly departure today, and we are going to have a flight time of approximately 25 minutes. We would like to thank you very much for being our guests today. Sit back, relax and enjoy the flight with us. Okay, so they seem to be closing the cargo doors at the moment. Let's go ahead and do the cockpit preparation checklist, please. Gear pins and covers removed. Fuel quantity 4,780 kilos balanced. Seatbelts on. ADIRS. Nav, barrel ref, QNH 1013. Cockpit preparation checklist complete. Alright then, with all that good stuff out of the way, let's go ahead and collect our clearance.
Runway 4,000 feet and squawk 2177 from Lufthansa 423 Heavy. Lufthansa 423 Heavy, read back correct, thank you.
Frankfurt delivery, hello, Lufthansa 144, request startup.
Lufthansa 144 delivery, hello, startup approved. Hold position, contact apron 121.855, bye bye.
Startup approved 121.855, Lufthansa 144, bye bye.
Lima 121.755, danke dir, ciao. Lufthansa 81 on frequency.
Okay, so all the doors are closed.
Lufthansa 99.
And we do have a company message. That's hopefully going to be the final load sheet.
Next is then Victor 161.
I did collect the startup clearance a tiny bit earlier here, so that we would not have to mess with it now in case we got any slots. Okay, so 57.3, 30.5 matches, and then takeoff weight 61.9 versus 61.9, 150 passengers and 3 infants. 29.7 is our center of gravity, so that's roughly down 0.1. I'll make that down
0.2. Lufthansa 81.
Okay, load sheet is accepted, and with that we are good to go. The lifting is up right now, let's get our clearance.
Whiskey Alpha with you on frequency. Hello, ground. 1 Whiskey Alpha behind the company, pushback and startup approved. Pushback and startup approved behind the company, Lufthansa 1 Whiskey Alpha.
Frankfurt apron, hello, Lufthansa 144, request pushback Alpha 30.
Scandinavian 676, advice ready for taxi. Scandinavian 676 ready for taxi, affirmative. Scandinavian 676, roger, behind the Boeing 747 in November 5, taxi talking.
Okay, might be a little bit busy right now to get that clearance.
Scandinavian 676, behind the 747, taxi holding point 07 center, via November 5 and hold short of Lima.
Apron, hello, Lufthansa 144, request pushback.
Lufthansa 144, Frankfurt apron, hello, pushback and startup approved, area 2.
Push start approved, area 2, Lufthansa 144.
Lufthansa 9 Kappa Hotel, your stand is now occupied, advise able for stand Bravo 10.
Okay, so continue pushback, and he said area 2.
We're unable to run Bravo 10 due to us being a 747. We take stand Alpha 1 triple base.
Okay, before start checklist, park and brake is set, takeoff speeds and thrust, 146, 146, 148, windows, closed, and the bacon is on and tasty. Before start checklist complete. Ground flight deck, go ahead. So, push and start approved, area 2, park and brake set. Release brakes, brakes released.
Approach staying 16 Lima, say again.
Okay, start of the push, stand by for engines.
Push one start approved.
So, on the way. I did say in my other videos already that the windows here seem very brown or grayish. They should be quite a bit bluer. and the Lufthansa logos themselves a little bit smaller. But Yo is working on that. We are going to see an update for these. Okay, this gentleman is pushing as well there. Let's just hope that he is not pushing onto Area 2 as well. But that's what they have these areas for. So, should be alright. Okay then. Flight deck from ground, you're clear to start the engines. Roger, starting 2 and 1 in sequence.
Then Croatia 410 taxi to stand.
Engine 2 start.
Alpha 62 via November 8.
So, over here is Area 4. I think he's probably going for Area 4 then. And we're going Area 2, which is over here. That way we are separated from one another in the pushback. So, well done to ATC.
Runway 18, Boeing November 3, Lima and hold short of November 5.
April, hello, Easy 220 Yankee, taxiing on Mike.
Easy 220 Yankee.
Okay, someone else pushing over there as well. Looks like it will get busy.
Yes,
okay.
Tango 4.
Roger, I'll call you back.
Engine 1 start. And push is complete, set brakes. Brake set.
Lufthansa 423, hold position. I'll call you back for this. Here, Lufthansa.
So, number 1 is starting.
Victor 115 via November East and November.
Stand Victor 115, can you repeat the taxi for Easy 220 Yankee?
Via November East Orange Line and November Orange Line.
Another company message.
Via November, Easy 220 Yankee.
Correct.
Another load sheet.
Brake. Qatari
Preliminary. Yeah, we don't need that. That must be sent in error. Okay, ground flight, we've got 2 good starts. Clear to disconnect, show me the sign on the left side with a pin, and have a wonderful day. Bye now.
Lufthansa 573 behind the LC19er to your left on November 8, pushback and startup approved. On to November 8 Orange Line.
Okay.
Ground Lufthansa 1082, request taxi.
Lufthansa 109er to taxi via November 8 Blue Line and hold short of Lima.
November 6 Blue Line and hold short at Lima, Lufthansa 1092.
Taxi is November 8 Blue Line and hold short of Lima.
November 8 Blue Line and hold short of Lima. Lufthansa 109.
Okay, so where's the ramp agent? Down here he is. Perfect. But what is he waiting for?
November 5, contact apron, another 4.
Lufthansa 2 request push and stop.
Okay, my brake is set. I have no idea what this GSX stuff is doing again. Yeah, interrupt the pushback, please.
When reaching, contact apron 121 dismiss 755. Ciao.
Thank you.
November 5, hold short Lima.
Okay, after start checklist. Anti-ice, off, ecam status, check, pitch trim, 29.8%, rudder trim, neutral, after start checklist complete.
When reaching 121 755. Ciao.
Scandinavian 676 when holding short of Lima 121
Correct.
Lufthansa 144, request taxi.
Request taxi. Charlie Sierra November 16 Lima via November 7 Orange Line short Lima. When reaching 11755. Ciao.
Oh, sorry, too quick for me. Could you say again, please?
November 7 Orange Line, hold short of Lima. When reaching, contact 121 dismiss 755.
Charlie Sierra November. I wonder what airline that is. But it might explain why we don't have any liveries for them in our model matching. Maybe some virtual airline?
First, Lufthansa 109er to do a swing over onto November 8 Blue Line, as I told you.
Blue Line 5, that's the one that I took.
No worries. Itaro 413 ready for taxi.
So this guy's going.
Pushback.
Ocean 6 Lima Mike, push and start approved. correction. Behind the EasyJet Airbus A320neo, push and start approved onto November blue line, face west.
Behind me, passing EasyJet. Pushback approved onto November.
Okay, the
blue
cabin
line,
is ready
west,
already.
Ocean 651.
Correct, and
Idaho 413, report
the
taxi.
115 was a few stands before that. Please taxi to the next stand to your right.
It is busy.
April hello, Lufthansa 478, ready for pushback. Band Bravo 28.
Lufthansa 478, pushback and start with approved.
Oh
face
boy,
west,
if
November.
these people would apply radio discipline, the world would become a lot easier.
Lufthansa 428. Lufthansa 5 Papa, short Lima.
Lufthansa 5 Papa, Frankfurt 8 and hello, taxi to stand, Victor 118 via Lima.
Victor 118 via Lima, Lufthansa 5 Papa.
Lufthansa 144, request taxi.
Lufthansa 2 Echo, we're just about to call you.
9er, left November, hold short November 8.
Locked.
Lufthansa 24 Echo, left November, short November 8, expect stand Alpha 19er.
Left November, short November 8, expect Alpha 19er, Lufthansa 2 Echo.
Idaho 413, report taxi.
Before you have pushed onto, I don't know, blue line, whatever, try to pass them on the orange line this time. I'm very sorry.
Huh, that guy has pushed very nicely.
079er.
Richard, question Richard 079er, April hello, Victor 120, taxi left November, hold short off November 8.
Stand Victor 120, taxi November, hold short November 8, 079er.
Lufthansa 144, request taxi.
Locked. Charlie Sierra November 160, hold position and contact apron 121-755, ciao.
Idaho 413, report taxi.
God damn
413,
it.
runway 18, taxi by November 7 orange line.
But if he answers all these guys, then they will just keep doing it and just keep interrupting.
7 orange line, call short of Lima, Idaho 413.
Lufthansa 144, request taxi. Maybe, eventually. Lufthansa 144, request taxi.
144, runway 18, November 7 orange line, short Lima. When reaching 121 dismiss 755, ciao.
November 7, orange line, short Lima, when reaching 121-755. Tschüss, Lufthansa 144.
Lufthansa 109er, 2 when reaching.
Okay,
Lima,
that's easy.
Apron 121 dismiss 755, ciao.
121-755 on reaching Lima, Lufthansa 169.
Lufthansa 22 kilo request push and start.
Okay, brakes off.
Kilo push and start approved area 3.
Push and start approved area 3. 2.
Okay, brake check.
Charlie 56.
Pressure 0.
Locked, KLM 1820, pushback and start is approved, face west. Correction, face
Okay,
east.
so we go onto the orange line and then hold short Lima, contact apron 121-755.
Lufthansa 6 Charlie also confirm staying on this frequency and request taxi.
Atrium stand, the frequency taxi via November 5, hold short, at beam stand Alpha 19er due to a pushback.
Taxi November 5 and hold short to Lima.
Okay, actually this is wrong. Should stay on this frequency for a bit. As we're cleared via the orange line and then hold short of Lima.
A321 from your left, pushback and start approved area 1.
First start approved after company A320 into area 1.
Okay, so we go into here, then a left-hand turn, November 7 is over there and onto the orange line. And then we hold short Lima and call the other apron. So the aircraft on the right there is stopping.
Riyadh, negative, Rich Air 120 behind the traffic in front of you. Continue taxi via November.
Okay, onto the orange over here and then 121-755. Frankfurt apron, hello, Lufthansa 144, November 7 orange, short Lima.
Lufthansa 144, Frankfurt apron, hello.
Apron, hello, Idaho 413, holding short Lima, November 7 orange line.
Idaho 413, Frankfurt apron, hello. Taxi.
I wonder why he just said hello and didn't give us any further taxi clearance. sometimes on VATSIM they're like, oh, there's an aircraft in front of you, I can't give you clearance. Well, of course you can. I mean, it's clear that we're not going to taxi through it, right?
Lima, November 14, November, for Itaro forward.
Right on Lima, November 14, November, holding short, holding point, runway 18.
Good afternoon, Lufthansa 1092, hold short at Lima.
Okay, so he basically said hello to us, so we are going to wait for his
1092, Frankfurt.
for his call. Unless it takes more than a minute, then I'm going to call myself, because I wouldn't be surprised if we are forgotten, seeing how busy it is over here. Okay, so hold shot off the line. Here we are.
Lufthansa 144, taxi right via Lima, holding point runway 18.
Right via Lima, holding point 18, Lufthansa 144. Okay, so that's Lima over here. We turn onto that and then all the way to the holding point. Clear left side, clear right side.
676, bye-bye.
Lufthansa. Lufthansa 1 Whiskey Alpha, contact tower 124 S55, bye-bye.
Lufthansa 1 with Alpha, 121, bye-bye.
Okay, flight control track. Full up. Full down. Neutral. Full left.
1092,
Full right.
for the taxi.
Neutral.
1092 gives way to company C20 crossing
Rudder.
left to right. Thereafter
Full left.
taxi holding point runway 18 via
Full
Lima,
right.
November 14 November.
Neutral. Okay, no changes to the takeoff
Repeat
briefing.
after Lima.
I have a feeling sometimes when you let go of the tiller disconnect button, the plane just starts to turn rather hard. Really shouldn't do that. I have a feeling what might be happening internally is that even though it doesn't move, the nose wheel still kind of turns inside the system logic, and then when you let go of the button just after you let go of the rudders in the real plane, it just keeps going straight. But in the simulated one, the nose wheel might still be trying to get back into a normal...
we are currently unable to start Frankfurt properly, so all controllers are now going offline because we are unable to handle the load. So have good luck on Honeycomb and have a wonderful day. Bye-bye. All stations, all Frankfurt stations are now closing.
Das ist sehr schade.
Good job.
Oh god, I hate it. Now they just all close. 5 aircraft at the holding point. Wonderful. Well then, 1228, and now it's gonna be messy trying to handle this. Frankfurt traffic, Lufthansa 144 on Lima, holding point runway 18. Okay, taxi checklist. Flight controls, checked. Flap setting, conf 1 plus F, radar and predictive wind shear, on and auto, engine mode selector, norm, ecam memo, takeoff no blue, taxi checklist complete. So the guy in front of us needs to go.
Lufthansa 904 lying up from 18.
Okay, so clear on the left and on the right side. So that A310 is going now. Is that an A300? Probably an A300. I think it's too long for an A310.
355, 5000 after Delta Foxtrot 441. Turning for base, ILS Yankee 07 left, about a 5000.
So let's hope that the guy in front of us lines up behind this one.
Line is 2067 on final runway.
Frankfurt traffic, Scandinavian 676 departing to center.
Otherwise, what we can always do is to take November South,
Correction, 0.
so that we've got all the options available.
Frankfurt traffic 264 for Victor Hotel on the islet 07 right.
So, nobody announced the lineup there yet? Then we do it. Frankfurt, Lufthansa 144, lining up runway 18 via November South.
For traffic in Barcelona 7 Alpha Bravo to departing SAS, if SAS traffic crossing runway 07 center via...
Okay, cabin crew, prepare for departure. It's a heavy aircraft in front of us.
Whiskey Tango on frequency. Wie schnell seid ihr ungefähr?
Okay, lineup checklist. Takeoff runway 18 November South, TCAS, TARA, PAX 1 and 2. Off, lineup checklist complete. Okay, the A310 is airborne.
355 kommt vom Norden, dann hinter der 2 Whiskey Tango, ja?
Okay, so, brake is off, take off. Lufthansa 144 taking off runway 18. So this might actually have been faster than if air traffic control stayed online.
We taking November 8, November into
Man flag 68, SRS, A thrust blue. Thrust set.
Whiskey lining up 07 center.
Frankfurt traffic is on 1 Whiskey Alpha, we cross runway 18. We'll line up runway 18 behind the company traffic.
100 knots, checked.
Frankfurt traffic KLM 1820 taxi to 07 center via November 1 Lima.
V1, rotate.
Spain 1C Lima, lining up runway 18
Positive climb,
behind
gear up. Nav, checked. Okay, now we gotta be careful that we don't fly into anybody who's on the downwind in the south over here. So we gotta keep a good eye on the TCAS, that we don't run into anyone. First line climb, auto thrust. Okay, autopilot on. Definitely going to keep the autopilot here as it is rather busy now. We've got to listen to all the Unicom traffic here, flap 0. Listen to all the Unicom traffic and try to figure out which one is relevant for us. Okay, so flight level 110 is normally what they clear you to next. Actually 130.
Frankfurt traffic Lufthansa 1 Whiskey Alpha taking off runway 18.
But it looks like there is currently nobody in this area. Oh, got one over there maybe, depending on where he's gonna go. Seems to be level in 5000. But I think overall this is looking quite good right now. No significant traffic for us. Seems to be quite alright. Okay, set standard. Standard cross check, passing flight level 52 now.
Intruder 64 for Victor Hotel, short final 07 right, so runway 18, please have position.
Oh, lovely. Ignore that. So that guy telling the traffic on runway 18 to hold position actually has a very good point there. If air traffic control is online, then they can't clear an aircraft for takeoff on runway 18 while there's approaching traffic on runway 07 right. The reason is that people lifting off on 18, I think it's easier if I show you via the chart instead of just telling you. So, if aircraft are overflying runway 18 over here on the landing on 07 right, and aircraft are taking off on 18 down here, they might collide just over the runway. For this reason, air traffic control is not going to issue takeoff clearance on 18 when there's traffic on final to 07 right within, I believe, 3 or 4 nautical miles or something. Now, there is a solution to that, and that's intersection Mike that you can see just down here. In that case, aircraft are going to be cleared to line up on 18 and taxi forward to Mike and start their takeoff roll from there. In that case, it is assured that they cannot lift off by the time the arriving aircraft might pass overhead. So if they taxi forward on Mike and then start their takeoff roll from here, then there is no limitations. Otherwise, if they need the full length, the arriving aircraft must be at least 3 or 4 nautical miles out. Okay, so let's climb flight level 210, which is our cruising level. Flight level 210 blue. And passing 10,000, I'd say we can release our guests over here.
Lufthansa 2 kilo, lining up behind the
And honestly, this is... Let's get some silence here. That Unicom traffic is no longer relevant for us on this departure. The aircraft over here shouldn't really matter as well. So I think we are basically good to go about everywhere. Alright, already get a contact me from Munich radar. So that's 129525. München Radar, wunderschönen guten Nachmittag. Lufthansa 144, flight level 125, climbing 210.
Lufthansa 144, München Radar, good afternoon. Identified information Oscar, expect ILS approach runway 10.
We'll check information Oscar, expect ILS 10, Lufthansa 144.
Lufthansa 144, proceed direct data November 430, 4 straight in approach runway 10.
Direct Delta November 430, expect the straight in runway 10, Lufthansa 144. Okay, Delta November 430, insert. So the top of climb equals the top of descent. Lufthansa 144, request to stop the climb, flight level 170, final level.
It's approved, climb 170.
Climb 170, Lufthansa 144. Okay, flight level 170 blue.
No traffic in your area at this level.
Wonderful. Okay, speed, vertical speed, approaching. Then let's go ahead and update the cruise level, 170, so that we get a proper top of descent here as well. So, runway 10 has already been confirmed, and enter... No, that's not gonna work. EDVN 10. That looks much better. Okay, 1000 to go. VS 1000. 25-mile cruise, that shall be more than sufficient. Okay. So, we will need the ground chart, and the parking stands, and the approach chart. Anything else is already a matter of the past. Not gonna fly any star or anything the likes here. So, starting at VNOP 4200, 3-degree glides. And we've got VNOP 4200, 3-degree glide. Wonderful, go around Delta November 490, right and turn. Back to the VOR, climb at 5000, max 250 knots. We don't intend to fly faster than that anyway. So we've got 490 overflight point, Nürnberg 5000, 250. Looking good, so we can't just tune Nürnberg in here, it's auto-tuned it anyway already. Romeo 10 is in here, and we've got Alt Star, Mach, and Alt Cruise. Beautiful. Enter destination data, we're on the way to doing that. So, Nürnberg, ATIS, information Oscar, that's what ATC has confirmed as well. 100 at 6, 27 degrees, 1013. So, 1013, 27, and 100 at 6. Beautiful. Okay then, minimums, category Charlie, 1225. Config 3 approach, and we'll have to see about the auto brake in a moment. So, let's just see about our auto brake now. Landing on 10, so we're probably vacating Delta, I suppose. We're not gonna make Charlie. Let's do a little bit of mathematics. Nürnberg 10, refresh and apply. Landing weight 61.1. Let's see, landing fuel 3.6, currently 3.8. 200 kilos to go? I don't believe you. Anyway, let's calculate 61 tons. 61 low, 3, manual thrust.
For traffic information, opposite company Airbus 321. At the moment, flight level 161 at your 12 to 1 o'clock position.
Lufthansa 144, traffic on TCAS. Confirm is descending.
Affirm. Now flight level 157, 156.
Dankeschön. Okay, so that's this gentleman here. The approach controller probably contacted us while we've been a little bit outside his airspace. That's the reason why this gentleman here is not on his frequency while we are. And that's why it's giving us the traffic information rather than giving us, you know, rather than just making sure that we are well separated. But basically we are, so that was about as good as the controller can get there. Alright, so that's all in over here. Let's go to the next phase, go around, acceleration altitude 3,800. So the acceleration for single engine always equals the MSA. And here it is. Extra fuel, 23 minutes, secondary copy, and here we go. Lufthansa 144, request descent.
Lufthansa 144, descend to flight level 80.
Lufthansa 144, descent flight level 80. Thrust idle, descent alt, flight level 80 blue. Sometimes my mini FCU just adds another tick of a turn to the wheel, and the result then is a slightly off altitude indication. Stuff happens. Okay, so let's go ahead with our approach briefing, please. Alright, MSA 3800. We are on a direct to the final for an ILS approach runway 10. Minimum's 1225, and the go around is straight ahead and then a right hand turn back to the VOR, climbing to 5000. Alright, sounds excellent. Flight director guided approach with manual thrust, landing flaps 3, stop margin is about 200 meters. Idle reverse, outer brakes low, and planned runway exit is going to be to the right hand side. We'll see whereabout that is unsure as of this time. I'm pretty sure we'll make the first exit, but I'm pretty sure we'll make Bravo, but in the worst case we can take Alpha as well. No hotspots. Nothing special or non-standard. Any threats? Nope. Beautiful. Well, maybe VFR traffic is a little bit of a threat here. IFR profiles are within airspace class Echo. Watch out for VFR traffic unknown to ATC, but above 5,000 they need a transponder, below 5,000 we'll be inside control airspace, so I'm not worried about it right now.
To 5,000 feet, QNH 1013.
Lufthansa 144, descend 5,000 feet, QNH 1013. Okay, set QNH. QNH 1013 cross-checked, passing 12,900 now. And that's 5,000 blue. Okay, any questions on the briefing? Nope, beautiful. Liebe Gäste, wir haben unseren Sinkflug in Richtung Nürnberg begonnen und werden in circa 10 Minuten dort landen. Das Wetter aktuell 27 Grad bei klarem Himmel. Vielen Dank, dass Sie heute Lufthansa geflogen sind. Wir wünschen Ihnen einen schönen Aufenthalt und gegebenenfalls eine gute und sichere Weiterreise. Ladies and gentlemen, this is your captain speaking. We've started our descent towards Nürnberg and we expect to land in about 10 minutes. The weather at the moment, clear skies, 27 degrees. We'd like to thank you for choosing Lufthansa today. Hope that you have enjoyed your flight and we look forward to welcome you again soon. Thank you very much for your attention. Okay, passengers are dealt with as well. And, well, then we have pretty much everything done. Cabin crew, prepare for landing. Man, this is busy. This is busy. But that's how we like it, isn't it? Okay, so starting the speed reduction and reaching about 10,000 here. GPS primary and mode selector on. Okay, beautiful. More drag, we'll see about that. Approach checklist, please. Barrel ref, QNH 1013, seatbelts on, minimum, barrel 1225, auto brake, low, engine mode selector, norm, approach checklist complete.
Lufthansa 144 on present heading, cleared ILS approach, runway 10.
On present heading, cleared ILS, runway 10, Lufthansa 144. Okay, wonderful. Cleared for the ILS. Then we can descend with the procedure. Delta November 430 is a 5,000 restriction over there, which we're going to abide, and since that is basically the extended center line, I am just going to keep the aircraft completely in managed modes for the time being. Alright, very good. So, how high are we? 1,000 feet, yeah, not a problem. What I'm gonna do is this. Selected speed, 150, and then let's get the speed brakes out. The reason I'm doing this is because over here in 5 miles we have the decel point already, and I think that's a bit early to decelerate 10 miles prior to the final approach fix. So for that reason I just went selected speed here so that it doesn't start to reduce once we overfly the decel point. Okay, that's gonna be our cabin ready. So we're reaching 5,000 over here. That's about alright. Quick calculation over here. We got to reach Venup in 4,200, so we are roughly 4,300 feet above that. Say 4,000, that means we need 12 miles to lose it. Plus, of course, a bit to lose the airspeed, but that shall not be much of my worry here. It's an A320, it's not an A319. In the 19, I would start to rapidly slow it down, but in the 320, no problem whatsoever. Okay. Speed. Why? How can you... No. We're above the profile. How can speed and descent modes be active at the same time here? That doesn't really make much sense. Okay. Managed speed. Vertical speed, minus 2,000. Minus 1,000. Speed brakes going in. And that's looking very good. Okay, so we do have the localizer down here already. Lock blue. Lock. And glide slope alive. Approach armed, Cat 3 dual, autopilot 1 and 2. Glide slope star. Let's do that manually. So, autopilot's off. I'll get the speed brake out once again, just to be sure we are able to lose that airspeed. Lufthansa 144 established.
Lufthansa 144, wind 100 degrees, 6 knots, runway 10, cleared to land.
Runway 10 cleared to land, Lufthansa 144. Okay, let's do half speed brake here, so that the VLS band goes back down again. And you can see, with the speed brakes coming in, the VLS immediately goes down. Okay, flaps 1. Speed checked, flaps 1. Okay, there's so little happening here. Let's go, flight directors off, bird on. Runway track set. And then we can fly the approach raw data. 11 miles out, 210 knots ground speed is looking good. My speed brakes are half out at the moment. I think that's really all we're going to need. Okay, and speed brakes going in. Cancelling the altitude alert here, we are descending intentionally. Slightly variable winds. Nothing to worry about. That speed will come back down again as well. Well, looks like we're entering some thermal over here. In that case, let's help it.
2,500.
Checked. That's definitely quite an updraft we are flying through at the moment. You can see the speed is barely coming back, even though we have a rather high rate of descent right now as we're recapturing the glide slope. Okay, that looks much better to me. Flaps 2. Speed checked, flaps 2. Okay. Spoilers coming in, gear down. And flaps 3. Speed check, flap 3. Landing checklist, ecam memo, landing no blue, landing checklist complete. Okay, we still have a little bit of speed to lose over here, but it's daylight VMC, so we can use 500 feet as our stable gate. Checked. Alright, now it seems we're getting out of the thermals, and now the speed is coming nicely under control as well. Okay, looking very good. Field elevation is about 1,000 feet, so we are just about stable right at the gate. That's about as fuel efficient as it gets. Okay, the checklist is complete, the cabin is ready, we have our landing clearance already. Perfect.
4. 300. 100 above.
Checked.
200. Minimum.
Continue.
100. 50. 40. 30. 20. Retard.
Oh, that's interesting. I gave full aft side stick and the plane barely reacted to it. Okay, nonetheless. Spoilers, reverse green, decel. 22 minutes of flight time. I like that. Manual brakes. And here we are. Okay, beautiful.
Lufthansa 144, welcome to Nürnberg. Taxi to gate 10 via Bravo, Mike 2.
Taxi gate 10 via Bravo and Mike 2, Lufthansa 144. So 10 via Bravo, Mike 2. Okay, Bravo's over here, and then Mike 2 is straight on the apron, gate 10. Something I found interesting here is, even though I went into idle thrust and deactivated the reverser, the airplane had a tendency to stop on that runway. Whilst on the taxi out in Frankfurt, it accelerated to 40 knots on idle. Doesn't really make sense to me right now, but so be it. Okay, gate 10, no follow me needed, handling by Lufthansa please, and after landing checklist. Radar and predictive wind shear off, after landing checklist complete. Alright, really nothing happening here. I like it though. I start to become more and more of a fan of flying into those smaller airports where there is not a lot of traffic, just because it means that we don't get delays like we just did in Frankfurt. Even though those busy airports do have something to them, and I kind of like to fly from one busy place to one smaller place. You know, just flying right in between the big hubs is always a little bit of, yeah, a little bit itchy, because you just get delays anywhere, which is primarily the reason why I left Throttle and went to flying long haul. And long haul, you just get delay, you know, once on your departure and maybe on your arrival, but usually not even on the arrival, usually it's straight in, even on the large airports. And that's it. On short haul, however, you do 4 flights a day, often between the big hubs, so sometimes they mess you over like 8 times a day. And I just find the long haul life to be a lot more relaxed than that. Okay, our light's going off. And here we are. So, going right into the gate. Let me know what you prefer, by the way. Do you prefer to fly in between the large hubs, or do you prefer to fly in between the smaller airports? And here we are. Okay, brake set. Bleed on. Cabin crew, all doors and park. Engines running down, and that's it. We've made it. Okay, so once the engines are below 20%, we can turn the beacon light off. The slides are disarmed. Seatbelts off. APU on, but sorry, external power on, but I'm certainly going to keep the APU operating here at 27 degrees. Parking checklist, please. Park and brake our trucks, brake set, engines, off, wing light, off, fuel pumps, off, parking checklist complete. Alright guys, I do hope that you have enjoyed this one. Now, first of all though, Lufthansa 144 shutting down. Thank you very much for the service. See you next time.
Lufthansa 144, thanks for flying to Nürnberg. Bye bye.
Okay. Let's leave the frequency over here, and that, my friend, is it. So, welcome to Nürnberg, everyone. I sure hope you enjoyed this flight. If you did, be sure to leave your like and comment below the video, as it does really help out the channel. And if you really love what I'm doing, I would appreciate a small donation through the Buy Me a Coffee link in the video description below. Thank you for watching, and I see you all again on the next one.